Fresh air, longer days, a chance to reset. This season, let therapy be part of your spring cleaning. Clearing mental clutter, shaking off stuckness, and building something better. Grow Therapy helps you get there. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 15th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
With Uber Reserve, you can book your Uber ride in advance, 90 days in advance. Perfect for all you forward thinkers and planning gurus. Reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. Uber Reserve. See Uber app for details.
Today I want to share a recent podcast that I was on for Strix Media. Strix Media are a creative media company based here in New Jersey. They do photography, videography, they do social media, a ton of stuff. And recently they had me on their podcast. Here's the section of the podcast where I talk about why I started helping small business owners with their Instagram. Hopefully you learn a little bit from the clip about me and you enjoy it. Here we go. And apply it to the second platform. And that's been sort of something that's really helped me grow and expand my skills in the way that I teach people and the way that I convey information.
Hell yeah. So how did you get into helping small businesses?
So that's a thing where I noticed that there's a lot of confusion, right? Because some small business owners, they want to pay someone to handle their social media and they just don't want to think about it. Like, you take care of that. And for some people that makes total sense. But for a lot of people, I don't think it does, because to the extent that a small business owner can show the behind the scenes, their daily life, all the things that go into it, a social media company can definitely do it, but it conveys a different way coming from a small business owner or someone else who actually works at the company. So that was one of the reasons that I try to do it that way.
And I think that's a great point because, when we bring on social media clients, we always explain to them and try to set the expectations properly that it is a team effort, because it's not possible for us to convey what your business is about without you providing content or you being on camera or, doing 5 to 25% of the work, because it requires you to make content. You couldn't pay us enough to be there every day. So, that's where that, I feel like a big gap in understanding what social media marketing can do for a small business.
Absolutely. And I never want to discredit any social media marketers, who work with companies very closely. Of course, that's important. But sometimes the way the owner or small business staff can convey it comes across in a very specific way that resonates.
Yeah, it's usually more like organic and raw and like personal. Whereas like if someone else were to take over, like it's hard to find someone's brand voice and stay, within something that's like not so advertising and markety sounding. Like you want to sound more genuine, and especially for the small business side.
Absolutely. Hopefully you found this clip helpful. Come back tomorrow for more snippets of this podcast. If you want to listen to the whole thing, go to strixmedia.com. You can find the rest of the podcast there. By the way, being on podcasts is one of my favorite things to do. If you have a podcast, whether it's about social media or something voice related or something technology related, and we can find a way to work together on it, I would absolutely love to be a guest on your show. Send me a direct message at Daniel Hill Media.